Okay, let's go to 18. So 18 is the second Libra gate or key. And it's one that really surprised me, like so much. We start with the sensual energy of 46 and then 18. What's 18 doing here? What I would like to start with is um, I felt that the tarot cards have a lot to do here with the 18, like the importance of judgment, the tarot card judgment and the many faces of that card. I think that helps a lot when you start looking further in the 18. So if you have tarot decks, pick the 18, see what it means to you, because Libra is visual and to the senses. So just look at the card, see what happens there. I've always found this calling to look at that card. I don't know why, but with 18, it always called me. So 18, I think, is the Libra energy that has a lot to do with exactly that integrity and that balance we spoke about in the beginning. Like, is that integrity for me and the other? Am I just judging? Am I just in the head having opinions and judging? Or am I just spotting something that's not right? And that's not maybe moral, because Venus has a lot to do with morality too. So I think the gift of 18 is just to keep integrity and morality. And many times I met people having 18 that just correct you at the course. They're like, no, you didn't say the right word here. And that's their energy, to be sure that what you speak about is integral in a way. It's, but do not make a mess out of it. Make it fair and make it balanced. And the CD is perfection. We are all looking for that, the balance and the perfection. And I think it's a very different way of seeing perfection, not the Virgo type of perfection, but Libra is about balance. Perfect means that, those energies, oh, finally, they are aligned. Finally, what's in me and outside me, it's in balance. And I'm living my life with integrity, and that brings perfection. It's in the channel with 58. I don't have, I do have 18 in my Lilith, but I do have 58, I think 2 times. And many times 18 and 58 have this obsession for perfection, have this obsession for evolving in a perfect way and putting that pressure. It can be, at least 58 can put that pressure a bit on themselves. Yeah, how is it from your perspective?
Yeah, I love everything you said. And I'm going to bring up again, it's a little bit different, the graphics here, the art, but you can see, we call it the perceiver in the 64 keys. And that ability to judge or to know comes from the ability to perceive. So here we had 2 pictures, and you're going to see that there are like some differences in the picture. So that is what for the 18, that's really easy to be like, okay, this doesn't match, or this is happening. And I think that the beauty of the 18 is when it comes to a level of awareness, when it doesn't feel like it has to point out everything that's wrong, because that's when it can become heavy. But instead, in the I Ching, it's working on what's been spoiled. So it has that ability to heal, is what I feel. It's in the again, going back to the Venus, if the 46 is the 7 first years, we're really developing in a physical sense. Here we have the years when we're developing a lot, like mentally, from psychological and mentally. So that is from 14 to 21. And it's being able to keep that like stretchable, like teenagers are actually, kids and teenagers can be very stretchable. But when you go to high school and people start to judge you and you start to point fingers at each other's, like that's when you kind of become rigid. And that's not what the mind is for. The mind is beautiful and there's so many possibilities to see things. So when the 18 can have that view, like that's what the true IQ is. And there's also what you were saying about healing, you were saying about health and balance. I also feel when it comes to the Venus sequence, it has to do with the balance between those parts of us, the mental part, the emotional part, the physical part, the spiritual part. It's almost like the 18 I think they could become a good psychologist because they could actually see in people those different parts, and they could help people to work with their inner child, like the parts of the parts where the adult hasn't like really taken responsibility for the inner child. So I believe that's how we write about it actually in the archetype, that the 18 can be really good allies for an adult to help you reclaim your own childhood. And it has to do actually too, in a human design sense, about authority and about not taking some other authority, but kind of go with your own judgment, which is positive. So there can also be some healing, like who did decide for you when you were a child? Like what are the parental conditionings that now you're like ready to let go of, so that you can be free, and also free as a parent to educate, to be there for your own children. So for me, it has a lot to do with that, the developmental phase, especially in psychology, and also like a balancing, a healing, the beauty of Libra, kind of bringing balance, bringing integration, bringing harmony, and healing fragmentation is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Beautiful. I'm so inspired by the image. Yeah, I know it's very different from the other ones, but it's so inspiring. Like I think we all had in our childhood that kind of, hey, spot the difference between. So it feels like, oh, let me do the exercise. Um, what's so interesting is the programming partner of 18 is 17. I know lots of people that have 17, and I think here it's like a secret weapon that 18 has, that 17, the programming partner, that ability to use even clairvoyance, or that eye that sees stuff. This is what I was thinking at when I saw the image. I was like, oh, imagine someone having 17, how they will see it so fast. So yeah, it's such an interesting combination. Sometimes you just see stuff fast.
Yeah, and I believe that is a similar pair, like we're speaking about the 25 and the 46 before, and how they can kind of in the shadow frequencies, constriction and seriousness. And I believe that the opinion and the judgment of the 17 and the 18, like it's a similar loop that you kind of can get stuck in, and then they are kind of holding each other there. But like you say, they're also allies on a higher level, where we have that farsightedness and that integrity of that expansive way of seeing life, and of introducing that expansive way to others. So yeah, beautiful.
The stone here is olivine. It's very similar to peridot. It's a very light, almost yellow greenish light one. It's a very beautiful one. Search it, see if it does stuff for you. And I'm a fan of peridot. Olivine, I haven't found it here, but I think even peridot can work good on this. But anyway, check those two and see how they feel.